Hello everyone. Today's presentation is about sales strategies for really live people. Although there may be misconceptions about chat and the retail public's acceptance of chat, the fact is, if done right, it is still one of the highest conversion rated tool in the internet toolbox. Today we'll focus just on the strategies. For the basic operations of really live people, just go to the login screen and click on the online manual. This is the best resource for learning how to use ReLP. For today's presentation, I'll be going over online stats using really live information based in the analytics of ReLP and a W website called sellmore.aslinternet.com. I will set up some campaigns in ReLP and with ReLP's sister program, Adomatic. Using these both combinations, this will give you the best chance for higher conversion rates using both programs. Before we do, I want to show you why tying adomatic to ReLP is so important. We only have to look at our two conversion stats to quickly understand why. With really live people, we have two types of chats, inbound and outbound. While auto chat, we can force tons of invitations to consumers to chat with agents, the conversion rate to actual chats is low. In essence, it can become annoying to a consumer facing a barrage of chat requests over and over again. But if we look at the inbound chats, we find the conversion rate is really high. And why wouldn't it be, since they're calling in for help? What we have to do is set up our ad campaigns for them to need an agent to help them out. This is where Adomatic comes in. Send out messages to consumers need to get more information for. So as you can see in Adomatic, that I use sellmore.aslinternet.com as my favorite setup for experimenting for ad campaigns. Some of these I've tried in the live environment and have had good success. And, well, some haven't seen the light of day. So one of the campaigns that I have used with lots of success is the push, pull, and drag campaign. Today, we'll set this up. The push, pull, and drag sale is the highest conversion campaign that I have ran. I have done new vehicle introductions and I have worked with service and parts campaigns, all with great success, but the highest and most effective has been the push, pull, and drag campaign. Let's get started and we'll set this up. First, you must get an image, and to do this I went to Google Images and typed in push, pull, and drag. So we'll just look for a vehicle that we can put on the campaign. Oh, huh. Look at the fine vehicle I found as my image. So the next thing I did was I saved it. And then I pulled it up on my own desktop. And then I took it to paint. What I did here was I wrote up my message, and I wanted to have the message say exactly what it was. And, well, voila, this is a finished product. Push, pull, or drag your vehicle to our dealership and get $3,000 for it. Click on this ad to register, and with our agents, only registered customers get this offer. I now have my image ready to go. So I'll clear that off the desktop, then I'll go back into ReLP, and what I'll do here is I'll hit create a new ad campaign. I want to choose a template. Because I'm using my own image, I'm going to hit empty template. I'm going to say central text, although I'm not going to be using any text at all. So the first thing I'm going to do is title it to my push, pull, and drag. And you see how it says display an image with text overlay? The first thing I'm going to do is get that off. So display an image with no text. Then I'm going to upload an image on my desktop. Push, pull, or drag. Finish JPEG. Open. There you go. There's the image up there. I think I'm going to get it a little bit smaller just simply because I don't want to take up too much real estate on my home page. And I want to make sure that the red square close button tacked onto the right top corner appears down here, which is this little square thing. The reason why that's so important is when somebody has this pop up, you also want to give them the ability to close that off quickly. So there I've got the image. Now I want to hit behavior. And my behavior is once it's clicked on, what do I want to happen? So what I'll do is I'll go to sell more. .aslinternet.com, and what I want to happen, of course, is once they click on the ad, my ReLP account, my Really Live People account, will pop up. So there it is there. Of course, I'm not there yet, but that's okay. I'll take the URL for that and I'll copy it. And I'll paste it in, open this URL in a new browser, right? And I want this to pop up probably on the bottom so that it goes through the whole screen. And I want to hide after 15 seconds. So after 15 seconds and nobody's touched it, I want it to hit disappear. My activation rules, well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have no restrictions. Although you wouldn't do that in real time. What you would do is have it show once per browsing session. The only reason why I'm going to do this with no restrictions is so that I can get it to pop up whenever I want it to pop up. And under this activation rules, there's many rules that you could set up there. You even have the opportunity to set your own activation rules to time of day, URL, somebody's IP address, an area. So there's a lot you can do with this, but in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have it show no restrictions and have it enabled all the time. Once I've done that, I've got it enabled on the site. I want to create and save. And it appears there. So when I go back to my Sell More account, I'll double click on Home Page again. And there's my push, pull, and drag sale right there. It's following me on the bottom of my page. If I do click on it, I'm not on there yet, but it takes me to my Really Live account. This way, I can actually take a customer and get the information I want off him to register him for this particular ad campaign. Now, if I go back into Really Live People, I can activate just about any campaign that I want, right? So I've got a welcome back for my credit applications, and I'm going to reactivate this one. And you can see it's just click here to start your rebuilding, credit rebuilding, which is right there. My behavior on it is once you click on it, it goes to Really Live People, and the activation rules are simple. You can click on every page, but I want it only to activate once somebody clicks on the finance page. So this is all set up and ready to go on our finance page. So we'll save the changes again, go back into the finance page, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable the push, pull, and drag, and enable the finance campaign. Here. And let's see what happens to sell more. So we'll click off that, and we'll go to the finance page again. And there's my welcome back credit rebuilding process. Again, this is really good for people that want to get into subprime. The IP address has been marked down so that if somebody was inquiring about credit, they can come back and we know that they're back again. We can send out an agent now. I'm going to try that again just so that I can click on it and show you what can happen on this one. If I click on it, again it takes me back to the ReLP account. So very effective, being able to take inbound calls. I want to know what my stats were on my welcome back credit. Go to my analytics. I can say that most of them were ignored, but my click-through rate were 9%, which is fairly high click-through rate on something like finance, compared to the push, pull, and drag where we were hitting 52 and 63%. So, anyways, that's how you set up an ad campaign in Really Live People using Adomatic to get higher click-through rates on inbound calls. See you next time. Thank you for watching.